Welcome back to Modern Tech and Transformation. I'm Carla Hartman, and today with me I have CEO of Resolve Tech Solutions, Vinod Muthuswamy. Vinod has been a regular on the podcast, and we are excited to have him back. And today I wanted to talk about the history of Resolve Tech Solutions. For years, Resolve Tech has been synonymous with SAP. And recently, we've been awarded one award from SAP NS2, being their outstanding partner for 2023. And in 2024, we're recognized as one of the top 10 most innovative SAP service providers to watch. So I think that's an untold story. And who better to hear it from than the CEO? So talk to me a little bit about the backstory of Resolve Tech and SAP's relationship.
Carla, it's super exciting to be on this podcast, but also excited about both the awards. The SAP NS2 award, it's an honor to receive an award from such a large partner and truly one of the best ERP platforms on the planet.
It is the leading one.
close to it's greater than $40 trillion of the global trade runs through SAP. We are very fortunate, and that Resolve Tech Solutions has, RTS has been in this SAP journey for more than 2 decades, right? Whether directly as RTS or our team has always been at the forefront of modernizing ERP platforms. With RTS, it started in 2010, and our relationship with NS2 started that early. In the early days when SAP NS2 was going through the journey of modernizing customers and transforming their environments, RTS was right at the side, enabling them through those journeys, right? And that involves all the most critical environments that is out there, the DoD environments, the federal, and any customers that were potentially part of the regulations tied to working with the defense and the federal government. Through that journey, 2 things that we have accomplished. One is we've been at the forefront working with a partner like SAP. We've been able to see technology change at least a year or 2 ahead of some of the other system integrators out there. We take our partnership with SAP NS2 very seriously. So you would have seen us, we never go and compete with other SIs. We truly focus with how we target our customers, and that is one of the reasons why we have this trust and loyalty with SAP that has brought us this awards several times, and we're very honored to have that award this year. But as the customers have started migrating and have been modernizing their SAP environments, RTS has also been in the forefront of enabling SAP NS2 through some of these different journeys and the customers, right? So when you think about a customer going through a modernization journey, the legacy ECC environments that customers have are predominantly on-prem, and they've been managed by different service providers. They've been purchasing software through SAP and the perpetual licensing. And now, as they move to S/4HANA, Rise with PC, they're shifting 2 things. They're shifting the technology framework. They're also shifting, how they look at software itself. It's no longer a perpetual license; it's a subscription. And then there's a third element to it, which is the cloud. Right. And RTS has, been at all these, journeys. So one is enabling customers through that migration, from whether it's lift and shift into the cloud or truly, transforming and then moving into the cloud and migrating the data, selective migration of that data. So through our migration services, we've been enabling our customers to go through that process. And then when they're in the cloud, what you would notice that, now the SAP teams at our customers' environments predominantly have little to no experience working in the cloud, right? They have years of experience managing these workloads in data centers, but now this is like a new thing, and it's scary. And so that's where we come into play. Majority of we manage close to 6,000 workloads in all the public clouds. All our customers are FedRAMP certified customers, so they're running in a FedRAMP certified cloud. We manage one of the largest footprints of SAP in a public cloud environment, right? So with that, not only we get a lot of learnings. We also gain a lot of scars, right? There are issues that we see that others haven't seen, right? There's issues of scale that you see that others haven't seen.
Mhm.
So we have experience in migrating massive amounts of data, managing synchronous data, asynchronous data, replication of that data, as well as how do you enable blue-green patching? One of the podcasts,
Yeah.
you would have, Anup would have talked about this, our
Mhm.
chief delivery officer. We have been in the forefront of bringing these capabilities to an SAP environment in a cloud, leveraging some of the benefits of that you get of running SAP in the cloud environment, and even things like automated DR testing, right? Ensuring that databases that are getting replicated are not corrupt,
Mhm.
right? So these are things that are needed to truly enable not only to modernize the SAP environment, but how do you maximize value coming out of that modernized environment and going through that digital transformation. That is one of the main reasons, and if you look at us today, RTS, in the mid market can deliver the full service to a mid to upper mid market customer, or a customer that's in the lower large enterprise space, right? So the Fortune 1000 or Fortune 2000 customers, um, those are the market segments where your traditional service providers or your SIs, large SIs like the Accentures of the world or EYs of the world, typically don't come to play.
Mhm.
And we are uniquely positioned to bring our ERP modernization expertise to allow customers to not only look at the current ECC environment and how that gets modernized into leveraging S/4HANA, but also once it's in the cloud, how do you manage and maximize value from it? And third, how do you now tie the other environments to it, right? How do you pull the data out of your SAP environment, modernize it? How do you apply AI/ML to it,
Mhm.
right? That's a very unique position that we are in, and at the scale that we're in, um, we are an outlier. We don't see a lot of competitors in our space that can scale, right? We probably have competitors that are focusing on one segment of our business, not everything together.
Yeah, the end to end
Yeah,
is really
yeah,
incredible.
absolutely.
So we know the compelling event going on with SAP,
Yeah,
the end of life for ECC maintenance.
yeah.
What else do you think people using or enterprises using SAP need to be aware of? What trends are you seeing right now?
The trends that we are seeing is truly understanding sort of the motive behind this transformation, right?
Mhm.
When you look at SAP environments, both for mid and large enterprise environments, the beauty of SAP is that it's a Swiss Army knife. You can customize it to whatever your business is.
Yeah.
And that's also sort of the downside of it a little bit, because what tends to happen in most SAP implementations is most businesses first come up with the mindset that my business process is unique, right? And then they go down this journey of how do you align the system to my business process, and that's where the enterprises have a pitfall where they spend a lot of money in customizing SAP, but in reality, SAP has all the elements that 80% of the enterprises currently sort of foundationally use. So it doesn't matter you know who you are as a business, your business process fits into that 80%. So there's not much of
Yeah.
uniqueness to that, right? So moving into S/4HANA and Rise with PCE and other engagement models, SAP has moved into this concept of a clean core, which allows SAP to continuously add and deliver more value to the enterprise with continuous upgrades, right? So as months and years go by, SAP will continue to innovate and give those capabilities to the customer. So there's huge benefit of moving into this environment, because now your foundational software and platform is transforming without you having to worry about it. But that also means that now you need to really think about the 80/20 rule. Ensure that your business process fits into that 80%. And then the 20%, yes, there is customization. It's not
Mhm.
everybody is the same. Not just a one size doesn't fit all. The customization is where SAP has enabled the BTP platform, where you can now bring in third party solutions into the environment. integrate data platforms into the environment, and just the ecosystem of how SAP also brings data and other capabilities um, is something to think about. Right now, SAP is good at what they do.
Mhm.
Right, and focusing the ERP platform around the core ERP, transforming all your fundamental sales, finance operations through that platform, but also look at best of breed
Mhm.
and how you can bring more modern platforms to integrate with SAP. Would be the approach I would recommend. Right, in some cases SAP makes sense. In those SAP also has native solutions that can help, but in some cases there will be more modern platforms that would integrate very well with SAP. And SAP's open platform approach now enables customers to uh, modernize and transform at a much more accelerated pace, and also get the benefit and value out of it in a much more accelerated place. This SAP transformation projects are multi-year projects, depending
Yeah.
on the size of the enterprise. Even a mid-sized enterprise, it takes more than months to years. Right. I do feel that window is going to start sort of closing in.
Mhm.
It's going to shrink, where you'll see more quicker deployments, and post transformation changes occurring at a much faster pace.
That's a business user's dream.
Yeah,
Because
that's a business. Yeah, yeah,
when you hear ERP modernization, you think this is going to be painful and
yeah,
long.
yeah.
So anything that can make it
Let
easier.
me get my 401k ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's exciting.
That is exciting. And SAP Sapphire is right around the corner.
Yeah.
What are you most excited about this year's conference?
What I'm most excited about this year's conference is, it'll be very interesting to see some of the advances SAP has made, not just on the core platform. SAP has now started launching their own large language models, bringing AI. Every company needs to have an AI story, so it'll be good to
Yeah.
see how SAP is playing in that space. And then it's always exciting to continue to see the momentum in terms of adoption. I think SAP in the past 2 years has at least done this really well in terms of enabling that customers to take that step from where they are today with Rise with PCE, and then there's Grow with PCE, and so there's different frameworks that they're allowing customers to now think about how to transform. It'd be good to see what is the next thing.
Yeah.
That and usually whatever they launch is like 2 years out, right? Anything they say now you'll see fruition like probably at the end of 2026. But those are things that will give us sort of this forward-looking vision of how we should adapt as being one of SAP's premier partners. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, we will both be at SAP Sapphire, so please stop by the Resolve Tech kiosk if you have time and if you're attending. So thank you for your time,
Thank you very much, Carla.
and we'll see you next week.